YouTube is hard enough without having to worry about a load of settings that could potentially kill your channel and stop your channel from growing. Well, part of what we do at 1 of 10 is actually work with some of the biggest creators on the platform every single day. We're just doing YouTube 24/7, which means we know exactly what makes and breaks channels. So here are 22 YouTube settings that you need to get right, starting with number 1. Okay, so first thing to do is actually to head over to YouTube Studio, and I'm going to click Details here. And the first setting I'm actually going to talk about is the relatively new feature, which is thumbnail A/B testing, which you can click here to do test and compare. And then if you wanted to, you can upload more thumbnails to test against each other. Now, a lot of creators have been talking about this and probably encouraging you to use it. But let me tell you right now, if you're a new channel or you're just starting out, do not use this. Early on, you just need to spend as much time as you can making content, uploading regularly, and just leveling up your YouTube skills over worrying about data that an A/B thumbnail test will give you. The reality is your views will be so low, your impressions will be so low, the data that you're getting back from those kind of tests is pointless anyways. So you just focus on uploading more content. Now, underneath the thumbnail kind of bit, we have the playlists, which is obviously where we can choose where to add our videos to. Now, this is actually really important because playlists can be like a secret weapon to get more viewers with less distractions in terms of them leaving your videos. But to show you how to do that, we're going to head over to a different tab. So if you head over to YouTube Studio again and then go to customization, which is this tab here, then you've got kind of this profile bit, but then click on the home tab. Now, so many creators actually ignore optimizing their homepage, but it's an extremely underrated place to really hook your viewers. One of the first things people are going to do if they like your content is click on that channel icon, and then they land on that channel homepage. And if it's an unorganized mess, it's going to be hard for them to navigate your content or understand what your channel exactly does. So for example, if you've got a video series going on, particularly aimed at beginners, you make a beginner playlist and have that feature. And then if a beginner comes to your channel, they're going to click on that playlist and go through a series of videos. Whereas if it wasn't there and they went to your channel and it's just messy, or they don't know how to navigate your content, or just can't be bothered because they're a colder viewer, well, you've just lost a subscriber or a load of potential views from a single viewer right there. So if we head over to our channel homepage here, you can see that we've got videos, we've got Start Your YouTube Journey here, which is kind of educational videos about YouTube and targeted towards maybe beginners or people who want to level up their skills when it comes to YouTube. And then you've got kind of more skill-based videos, which is kind of like ideation, thumbnails, storytelling, and hooks. And believe it or not, you look at all of this, we've actually only got 10 long form videos on our channel right now. You can make your channel look busier even if you haven't got that many uploads yet. And for example, if someone actually clicks on a playlist like this, what you can see is actually it locks them into a playlist here. If this playlist was longer, this would go even further down and cover up all of these suggested videos, leaving your viewer less distracted. So if we head back to channel customization here, what you can do is go to layout. You have many different options for what section you'd like to add. Popular videos, live now. I would go with single playlists and label those single playlists with really kind of good titles that will hook a certain kind of audience member into that playlist. And then depending on how you want to order them, you can literally just like drag them around here and put them in different places. Now, if we head back to profile, and you can upload your banner image and also your profile. When it comes to the banner, let's head back to our channel as an example. You'll simply want to put something that ideally represents what your channel is about, or a mission statement. Just tell people what you do in as few words as possible. Heading back again, if we go down to the watermark. Now, some creators will choose to put a watermark with some kind of call to action, such as subscribe, but we've gone with a 1 of 10 branding. So whether it be branding or a call to action, this is kind of your choice. One thing that's very important though is stick your contact info in, a business email or something for people to contact you. Everyone wants sponsorships, but some people, let's just say a video pops off and you haven't got like clear contact details on your homepage for your channel. How are any opportunities going to come by you if people don't know how to get in touch with you? And finally, for this section, in terms of the description, this is important because when you head to your YouTube homepage, this is the line that shows up here. So you've got your line and you've got your link. So if the line can be, once again, a kind of mission statement or what your channel does in very few words, or if you've got an offer, point them towards this link that's underneath, and then you'll get more clicks. So we're done with this section, and now we will head back to the video details and click show more. But first of all, we're going to cover this. No, it's not made for kids, because YouTube Kids is just like a whole different part of YouTube altogether. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're at risk of being fined. There's also no monetization, limited features, and other restrictions when it comes to that kind of content. So unless you're literally making like language videos aimed at 2-year-olds, just click no for this. Now, scrolling down a bit further, we have automatic chapters, featured places, and automatic concepts. Untick all of these. First of all, let me explain chapters. Generally speaking, when you have the option between YouTube identifying something for you or putting it in manually yourself, do it yourself. In the case of chapters, you're essentially letting YouTube cut each section of your video and label each section of your video with whatever the AI comes up with. This could either result in YouTube completely spoiling your content when it comes to information, or just labeling the sections of your videos really weird things and cutting them at the wrong places, which just confuses viewers. So instead of letting YouTube do this for you, what you need to do is in your description, something like this, you want to put like 0:00. So in this video, I called chapter 1 the top 1%, and then because I'm presenting 3 techniques, 4 hooks throughout the video, I just labeled them technique 1, technique 2, and technique 3. And some bonus tips for chapters here. You don't want to call them like intro and outro, because those are sections that people will just typically skip if they see them labeled as intro and they just want to go straight to technique 1. So get a little bit creative here, and you don't want to spoil everything either. It's like, imagine if you were reading a book and then you've got chapter 1. This character dies. It's like you just wouldn't want to read the book or the chapter anymore. So don't do that with your YouTube chapters either. And if we scroll back down again, so we've got automatic places, which is featured places. So you see this guy? Unless you want him knocking at your door and wanting to be your friend, untick this, because yeah, it will reveal your location to your viewers. As for automatic concepts, this has been an experiment for God knows how long. Once again, just untick it, because it's better for you to manually identify what is in your video rather than YouTube's AI doing weird stuff instead. So tags, they used to have a lot more weight way back in the day, in the early YouTube days, but nowadays it's not so much. Bear in mind, a lot of these settings separately aren't going to make or break your channel, but a combination of doing a lot of the smaller settings right can really help YouTube identify your channel and push your content to the right audience. So it's kind of like a combination of all of these things are really important. But what will break your channel is if you spend hours researching optimized tags and trying to put them here thinking that's what's going to make you go viral. So don't spend more than 1 or 2 minutes on this. Just do what feels right in terms of keywords off the top of your head and just leave it at that. Next up, licensing and distribution. Now, I think this depends on the context of your channel. If you are a faceless channel versus, say, for example, someone like me who does a lot of A-roll and then my face is associated with the content that I do, you might be able to go one or the other way when it comes to the licensing. Standard license just means that no one can basically steal your content and just use it anywhere without you being able to flag it up. Creative Commons means that people can just basically take your content and do whatever they want with it. Now that content might be free marketing for you. If your face is everywhere, that's great. But if it isn't and people are just taking your hard-earned work and maybe reusing it for their own kind of thing, you might want to weigh up whether you want the standard license or you want to allow people to use your content for everything else. Basically, you can be the judge of that. So underneath license, you can see this grayed out publish to subscription feed and notify subscribers. This is grayed out because obviously we've already published the video. This won't be grayed out if you are uploading a new video to YouTube. Now, what happens when you publish a video to the public on YouTube is YouTube tries to find an audience for your video and puts it in front of that audience, and they either click on it or they don't, and that's what your impressions are, and that's how you get your click-through rate, and that's how you get views. Now, this is going to happen regardless of whether you have subscribers or not. So this option here, it actually only matters if you have subscribers and a returning audience that's actually interested in your content. Basically, it's going to have no effect on your channel if your audience doesn't exist yet. On the other hand, if you do have an audience, this is really important to keep checked, because otherwise your subscribers aren't going to see your content. And actually that initial push you can get from your loyal viewers can actually help push a video out to an even wider audience, because YouTube gets a good signal that this video is performing well. Now, I've seen some creators speak about this and say that you should uncheck this if you want to try out a new type of video on your channel. Let's just say you are like a cooking channel and suddenly you want to do a running video. Now, the cooking audience doesn't want to see the running video, so uncheck this and publish the running video. But that makes absolutely no sense, because why would you want to post a running video on a cooking channel? If you want to start doing running videos, just start a new channel. Don't be posting running videos on a cooking channel and trying to mix up things and confuse your audience. Just do not do that. Below we have shorts remixing. I would allow this because it's free promotion for your channel. Category, this is what YouTube will automatically choose for you if you don't. So I would definitely go and choose whichever category you think best suits your content. And categories such as education or gaming, for example, have these kind of like subsections where you can put further details if you feel like that's relevant. Now, before finishing up with this section, we're actually saved the best till last, and we're going to scroll all the way up here and head over to end screen. Now, if I click here, you can see that we've set up an end screen for this video. Your end screens are actually like a secret weapon waiting to grow your channel, but most small channels get this wrong. The way you want to set up your end screens is one video with a hook that leads viewers into that video in terms of a hook in the script. This can even revive dead videos, because let's just say this video picks up momentum and then it leads a load of viewers into the end screen video, which might have been dead before. Now that video suddenly starts getting views, and it can even get picked up by the algorithm if those new viewers really like that end screen video. Now, I'm sure you remember earlier when I was talking about playlists and the cheeky hack to kind of hook viewers into more of your content by using playlists. You can actually do this with an end screen by not just choosing a single video, but you can actually feature a playlist as well. So if you set up a hook for a playlist instead, that's another way to get viewers to watch even more content. But early on, if you don't have much content, I would stick with a single video element, because otherwise you won't have much to feature in the playlists. So for the next section, we're going to head over to this settings part here. And the most important part of this section is definitely going to be in your feature eligibility. That's where you need to complete some verification processes to get your standard features, your intermediate features, and your advanced features. For intermediate, videos being over 15 minutes long and custom thumbnails are absolutely key for the success of a channel. If you don't have custom thumbnails, you can just basically kiss your YouTube channel goodbye. So do this, otherwise this certainly is going to kill your channel. If we head back to basic info, the country of residence will be very important once you get monetized, because it's relating to tax reasons. So I'd fill that out now, just so you have one less thing to worry about once you get monetized. Now, as for your channel keywords, once again, it's like this combination of all these small manual things you can do to tell YouTube what your channel's about. Just put in a few more keywords here. Don't think too much about it. Don't waste too much time doing hours of like search engine optimization research. Summarize what your channel does, put in a few specifics if you feel the need to, and move on. So the next part is upload defaults, and this can save you a lot of stress and keep you at peace when you are uploading. First of all, is the description. If you just find yourself doing the same things again and again in every single video, whether it be like links to products or your services or whatever, you can just put them in here for your default description, and then if you don't need it, you can just delete it. Next up, this is an absolute key one. I would put the visibility as unlisted. So this means when you're uploading a video, it's not fully public yet, and you don't just publish to the public straight away. You might be uploading something that you intend to keep on private, and if it goes to the public, well, it might not be ready for the public eye, or you might be embarrassed, whatever that video might be. The benefit with unlisted is it also puts it in like a semi-public format, so that YouTube can do all the right checks so that your video is ready to be published whenever you want it to be. As for the tags, you can also put a few in there if you find yourself using the same tags for the general kind of niche of your channel. Now, I just went through the kind of upload default for your description, but let's head back over to this video's description. But I'm actually going to give you some bonus tips for the description of each of your videos. First of all is for the first couple lines, it's great to put kind of a general description of what your video is about. And ideally, if you can repeat the title in the description, that's a bonus. You'll want to repeat the title in the introduction of your video, in the hook, ideally in the description, and then obviously you have it as your title. So that's kind of like 3 things that are telling YouTube what your video is about. Just remember that the more information you can kind of feed the YouTube algorithm into what your video is about, the higher the chance YouTube is going to put it in front of the right people. So now we're back on the settings tab, and let's head to the drama. Community moderation. YouTube is already a difficult enough game as it is, so you want to avoid any kind of negativity when it comes to audience interactions with your videos. Now, I'll let you in on a secret. Large channels do this all the time, but if anyone comments anything slightly negative, annoying, or just something you don't want to see, all you have to do is head into the comment section, click this 3 dot, and go to hide user from channel, and they'll end up on your blacklist. What this means is they can comment as many times as they want. They'll see their comments, but you won't see them and your audience won't see them. So No one's going to be having a negative experience or a negative impression of your content, and they'll be typing away, enjoying themselves with whatever miserable lives that they have. Now, if you scroll further down into community moderation, you can add blocked words that I guess you know what we're kind of talking about, such as pineapple on pizza, because why? This feature is particularly good at getting rid of bots that tend to repeat the same phrases and have very similar language repeated over and over again that you could probably spot within certain niches. Now, there aren't many mistakes that you can make with these kinds of settings that are going to be an instant death for your channel, but if you can't keep your viewers around for more than 5 seconds, that will certainly do the job. So click here to find out how to keep viewers watching from the first second all the way to the end.